Welcome YouTube. I thought I would take the time today to give you my 1 year progress update on this road to becoming a professional DJ. The last year for me, and on this journey to doing whatever it takes to try and make it as a professional DJ, has been quite the whirlwind. So in this episode, I thought I'd treat you guys to a lowdown of the last crazy 12 months that I have had. Hello, what's up YouTube, and welcome to this episode of Road to Professional DJ. As I already alluded to, I am going to give you guys a 12-month update on exactly what I've managed to achieve, and of course what I have tried and ultimately failed at in the last 12 months on this road to becoming a professional DJ. This time, just over 12 months ago, I had never even had a UK gig. Before any of my UK experience, I had DJ'd a bit whilst travelling, but I found myself back in the UK with zero contacts, zero connections, and no way of finding a gig. I decided that I was going to make a YouTube channel and document my journey of myself trying to make it as a professional DJ within the UK. It's been quite a whirlwind. Over the last 12 months, I've found myself in a position where I now run a brand and throw my own events. I've booked some crazy DJs, and I've also had some massive fails and lost a hell of a lot of money on different events, such as that London boat party, which we've only just got past. But let me give you a whistle-stop tour of my last 12 months. May 2018, I decided that I was going to commit whatever it takes to try and make it as a professional DJ, and I was going to document it so you guys out there could follow my journey, mainly because I wanted you guys to try and get some tips and tricks, learn from what I was doing, and also give myself the chance to expand my network and get tips and tricks from you guys. I've had so many great tips, tricks, methods, approaches, ideas, suggestions from you guys, and it really has helped me on my own road to becoming a professional DJ. So thank you so much for that. May last year, I sat down on the computer and I spammed absolutely every club manager, promotions events, promotion teams, record labels with my local area, you named it, I spammed so many. I also walked out in the cold, the rain, and dropped off mixtapes at clubs, nightclubs, bars, venues, doing whatever it would take to try and get that first gig. On what I believe was June the 14th, I landed my first gig with Boxing Events. It was a disco student night. I'm not a student anymore, so it was a bit of a stretch, and I managed to drag a load of people down, which was so key in me getting my next gigs with that brand, because I managed to bring some people down. I did get some awesome footage at the time. Here is some of it now. That gig was a lot of fun, and what feels like now a very long time ago in July 2019. So that is technically 13 months since my first UK gig. That then led me to my second gig, which was supporting Jasper James at Switch. Around 3 or 4 months later, that gig I was actually an investor in. So I got on so well with the guy that was running Boxing at the time, and he allowed me to become an investor into that gig. And I also made it a priority to get more footage, which I'll show you now, which was amazing to do. You've got to do these sort of things if you're a DJ. You've got to help get yourself some promo and make it look like you're as legit as possible. At this point in time, I'd only ever had 2 UK gigs and done a few gigs when I was traveling. Granted, that meant at that point I could say that I DJ'd in 5 countries, but it meant that I came across super professional, and whenever reaching out to any other brands or talking to other brands in business deals, it meant I looked like a legitimately decent DJ, which I like to think is true, but of course it's all about building this image, and that's going to help you get more gigs as the time goes on. Then, I don't believe, no, my next gig was my first gig with the Disco's Revenge Boys. This was through meeting someone at a festival and then going to his gig in Winchester, which is about
I must have had about
away from
10
me.
or 15.
I managed to
I'll write
land
on the screen
myself
now
a
actually
spot
how many
at
gigs
with
I've
the
had
Disco
this year.
Revenge Boys.
I'll calculate
I must have had about 4 or 5 gigs with them
that's
over the
where,
last 12 months, so that was very
to...
key. It also helped me learn a lot about running events. At this time with Boxed In, I'm helping, so we're getting to sort of the turn of the new year. I'm helping to organise Boxed In events, but I'm sort of more directly involved with the Disco's Revenge, because that was essentially a group of friends which I'd managed to bond with. So there's 4 Disco Revenge guys, 2 of them I knew from college, and this new guy that was on the end. It was his gig that I went to start with, and then Disco Revenge formatted with more of us, and I've been helping to run gigs with them ever since. I've probably done about 4 or 5. I've actually got one coming up in about 8 or 9 days with them as well. That takes us to the new year, when I went a bit berserk, and by berserk I mean booking all sorts of things. I will actually write on the screen now exactly how many gigs I've had this year, but they did start coming thick and thin. I've organised loads, I've booked loads, and I've been able to get myself in with a couple of different brands anyway. It was around the March time. We did 2 gigs within a few weeks, actually celebrating 2 years of Boxed In, which is when I then managed to land myself a gig with another brand called House Party Events. They wanted me to help support them for their upcoming gigs when they were launching in Southampton. I told them I was part of a team of DJs at this point. I then went away to the side and spoke to the guy that runs House Party Events and let him know that I also run an event, or run events myself. So if I wanted to do, or if he wanted to do some team events with Boxed In as a co-promoter, we could do that. He landed the Shapeshifters, which came around May the 31st. So that was my first big gig supporting a legitimate DJ act. We still, 5 weeks later, don't have the video content from that gig. A full gig update will be coming from my time supporting the Shapeshifters. It was an amazing gig. I got to meet the bloke as well, whose name has now escaped me. But that was absolutely wicked. Up until that point, I would say, other than DJing a few very quiet events or having a few events not go well, i.e. on the numbers front, I hadn't really had any massive failures. The Shapeshifters gig and the Jasper James gig, up to this point, I was invested in and we had lost money. So that is a part of a failure, you could say. But it's about building a brand here. You can't keep going on losing money forever, that is for sure. But other than that, I hadn't really had any major calamities, which brings me on to the London boat party. Sadly, the London boat party went completely tits up. For those of you that don't know, I did have to take down a recent video on the London boat party for business reasons. But for those of you who don't know, I organised a London boat party for the 22nd of June, actually the day before my 25th birthday, which we did have to cancel. And it was simple, we were not selling the tickets. It was going to be sort of a 30, 40, 50 person event on a 240 capacity boat party in central London on a Saturday night, on what was one of the most beautiful nights of the year, considering we'd had loads of rubbish weather. It was a good product. It was such a good product, but we just couldn't get it out to market. In London, when you're competing with the other biggest clubs, literally some of the biggest clubs in the country, some of the world's most famous clubs, and against other gigs going on at the O2, at Wembley, etc. It was just so hard to get our product out to market, and we did have to cancel that event. On top of that, it's not quite cancelled at the moment, but there's been all sorts of Ibiza woes, because I did also land myself some Ibiza gigs. Which brings me on to my last event, which was about a week ago, supporting Martin Icon at Rebel in Southampton as well. So in a nutshell, that is my 1 year update and exactly what has happened. The key to all of this has been network. I'm really not joking. I've spent hours up at night reaching out on groups, setting up my own group, which you may be watching this from, Road to Professional DJ. I would recommend anyone does whatever they can to boost their network within this industry. It is so important. Looking to the future, I have gigs coming up with Budapest. I'm taking a team of DJs out there, but it is very hard work at the moment. I hope that doesn't become another failure, but I'm working my socks off to do whatever it takes to happen. Let me know if you want tickets and you can support the brand out with that. I should also maybe be able to get a VIP upgrade if anybody does want to come out with me on that. And that just about takes me up to current time, where I am organising a lot more gigs, got a lot more things coming up, and things are going very well. It's taken up an awful lot of time, so YouTube has unfortunately taken a bit of a back seat recently, but I will be doing whatever I can to keep on top of the YouTube. I would recommend you do, if you do take anything from this video, then please do stretch your network as much as possible. It really will pay dividends. So thank you so much as ever for tuning in for this episode of Road to Professional DJ. If you're an up-and-coming DJ or promoter, or you're just enjoying the house electronic dance music scene, then please do subscribe to this channel. Give it a thumbs up if you found it of any value, and of course, as I just said, subscribe for more good stuff coming soon. Cheers!